Coming up next on Making Moves, new Chief Executive Officer Nat Ford joins us to discuss his plans for JTA's future. We'll hear from local veterans groups about a new JTA program aimed at helping vets get jobs and health care. And we'll show you how you can become one in a million. I'm Joyce Morgan Danford. Those stories and much more next on Making Moves.
Imagine taking a gondola ride through the canals in Venice, experiencing the breathtaking magnificence of the Eiffel Tower, or riding a legendary double-decker bus through the streets of London. For most of us, these are just dreams that will never come true, but they could. Think about saving hundreds, even thousands of dollars a year by doing one simple thing: parking your car and taking JTA instead. Save money, ride JTA, and make your dreams a reality.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Making Moves. I'm Joyce Morgan Danford. Coming up in today's show, we'll head to Baker County to see how a former JTA shuttle is expanding the mobility efforts there. We'll have an update for a Northside construction project, and we'll discuss the impending fare change for some JTA customers. But before we get to any of those stories, we are so proud to welcome JTA's new executive officer to Making Moves. Nat Ford was unanimously selected by the JTA board after a nationwide search to replace the retiring Michael Blaylock, who served a decade as CEO. First of all, we just want to welcome you to Making Moves and welcome you to Jacksonville.
Well,
how has this
Joyce.
transition been going for you so far?
Oh, it's been fantastic. The people here in Jacksonville have been very receptive. I've had a chance to meet with our customers and meet with our stakeholders, and everyone's been so warm and friendly, so I'm happy to be here.
Oh, absolutely, and we're so glad to have you, and certainly glad to have you to the show. Let's talk about your job, though. You've been CEO in both San Francisco and Atlanta. How does that compare to Jacksonville?
Well, you know, I see Jacksonville as really exciting opportunity. It's a city, it's a system, the JTA as a system. It's in transition right now, and my history has been working with established agencies like the Atlanta system and the San Francisco system. And in this current environment, I feel that I'm not taking over an established system, but a system that is going to be developed and has an opportunity to do some great things into the future. So it's a great opportunity. So
where do you think you really want to put your initial emphasis then?
Well, right now, the team and I have been working on evaluating the board's priorities and our stakeholders' priorities and clearly our customers, and focusing on our customers and making sure that the system that we're operating is safe, it's reliable, it's clean, all of those basic things as a first step. But we're going to look at how we position the organization for the future. Do we have the right organizational structure and the right technical capabilities for expansion, whether it be roads, whether it be public transit? And then I've also seen plans as it relates to light rail and commuter rail for the system. So making sure that the organization is properly organized and poised to take on those challenges in the future. And later this month, we will be making some very important moves in terms of the organizational structure to get us there.
So that pretty much speaks to your goals then?
Yes. My goal is to make sure that I have, initially make sure that we have the right organization in place to meet all of the challenges. As I've gone around and talked to the board members and our stakeholders and riders, there are clearly opportunities for the JTA to strengthen itself and improve its performance. And I've gotten a lot of recommendations from those conversations. And then I think transforming the organization internally. So we focus on accountability and we focus on being transparent to the public and making sure that people feel comfortable that we're good stewards of taxpayer dollars and the revenue that we receive for the organization. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but I think we're in the right place and the right position.
Mr. Ford, I know you've heard about our Better Jacksonville plan, and you know for a decade our engineering department really worked on a lot of projects. So does that mean since we're in a new age, do we continue to build roads and bridges now?
Well, I think there's always going to be a need for roads and bridges in the future, and as the JTA, we need to keep that core capacity at some level in the organization so that when funding comes along and different challenges that need a road or bridge solution, we have the ability to quickly mobilize and get that work done. The Better Jacksonville plan, the amount of work that it has been done over that 10-year period, all of the projects coming in on schedule, under budget. I mean, that's something that the entire country has recognized the JTA for and applaud the work that's been done. And so we don't want to lose that capability. However, we do need to look at the future as it relates to potential opportunities with light rail and commuter rail. And so, while that engineering capacity was focused on roads and bridges, it may shift and focus on light rail and commuter rail and bus rapid transit, which we have underway right now. So I do believe that the Better Jacksonville plan, I think it was great, the work that was done, and it'll just be a springboard to future opportunities for the agency.
We talk about region, that word comes up an awful lot when we
Exactly.
talk about JTA. How could the regional transportation plan factor into all of this?
Well, clearly, the JTA has to be a major part of any regional efforts and initiatives. And what we see ourselves at this juncture is partner with the regional planners and the regional entities. And I applaud this region for to take this on. I think from a federal funding standpoint, from a regional and state funding standpoint, when we're all working together, there's greater opportunities for us to deliver projects that I think the citizens want us to deliver. So the cooperation that I've seen walking in the door in terms of the regional planning initiative, the regional transportation commission work that has been done, I think it's admirable. And it bodes well for the future of Northeast Florida.
One of the things that a lot of people are talking about is energy sources, alternative fuels, and things like that. I know that you participate in the Jacksonville Chamber Energy Policy Forum. So you feel like the agency is going to dust off one of the policies that we had and try to go forward with it, and how would that work?
Exactly. It's my understanding about 6 years ago there was some work that was done to examine alternative fuels and identify what would be the next technological upgrade for our rolling stock, our buses. And we are going back and re-examining that work as well as updating it by bringing in some consultants to help us determine what is the next step. There are hydrogen fuel cell buses, which is on the very far end of technology, and then at a very lower end you have hybrid diesel electric buses. I think in the middle there is compressed natural gas, and that obviously is one of the alternatives. So we're working very quickly to make that decision as to what the fleet will look like going into the future.
Since you've been in other cities, do you have a personal preference?
Well, I've had the benefit of pretty much working with all of these technologies in some shape, form, or fashion. And in Atlanta, we made a decision to go with compressed natural gas after the Olympics. I believe that technology is mature at this juncture, so you're not at the cutting edge and dealing with the early failure type issues that you have, reliability issues you have with a new technology. So I believe that that may be where we end up. However, I thought it would be prudent that we look at the full spectrum. When we make these types of decisions, they're decisions that we'll need to live with for dozens of years in terms of the infrastructure investment that we'll make with our engines, with the fueling stations and things of that nature. So with that, we'll do our study, get that work done real quick, and then we'll build a roadmap to have a sustainable, fuel efficient, a much more efficient and less costly alternative.
A lot of work ahead. I mean,
Yes,
yeah, you've said a mouthful.
Well,
Certainly.
I'm excited about this, and I'm excited about the opportunity.
Absolutely. Okay, Mr. Ford, you stay right here. Of course, we're going to be having more with our new CEO, Nat Ford, coming up. But first, still to come on Making Moves, we'll learn why a new JTA project means the world to area veterans. And then a little later, we'll tell you how JTA can make you one in a million. Those stories and much more when we come back.
live in a global community where information can be delivered instantly. But having access to information and getting accurate information don't necessarily go hand in hand. That's where we come in. We are Making Moves, the First Coast's premier source for transportation news. At Making Moves, we strive to deliver timely, reliable, and pertinent information about the transportation stories that affect our community. From transit to roads, we've got it covered. Making Moves, now on Facebook.
Construction has been completed on a Northside project aimed at improving access at Clark Road and Interstate 95. Their nearly $2 million project features 2 new roundabouts that improve traffic flow at Clark Road and Interstate Center Drive, and where a new extension of Interstate Center Drive meets Broward Road.
This is a federally funded project to help improve the safety as well as help improve some of the development of the neighborhoods. We did end up putting a new three-lane section of roadway. We standardized the roadway width, 12-foot lanes. We added some bike lanes, sidewalks, pedestrian improvements with that, landscaping and lighting. The 2 roundabouts are new features for this area, and we think the people are going to really enjoy it, and no more stopping, just yield and go about your business.
Motorists now have a more direct connection between Clark Road, Interstate Center Drive, and southbound I-95. To further enhance safety, Clark Road was widened to accommodate a new turning lane. If you ride JTA with a reduced fare card, change is coming for you starting January 30th. That's when your cash fare will increase from its current 50 cents per ride to 75 cents per ride. This fare change was outlined a year ago when the JTA board approved a system-wide fare change. The new reduced fare rate, which is half the regular fixed route fare, puts JTA fares in line with most other transit agencies around the nation. Reduced fare riders using the Star Card will not see a fare increase. The 31-day reduced fare Star Card will still be just $30. That's less than $1 a day for unlimited rides on JTA. Still a great deal on any budget.
To qualify for a reduced fare Star Card or the reduced fare rate, you must be a recipient of Social Security disability or income and have an award letter, a disabled veteran, honorably discharged, and you must have your VA card or your DD 214. A Medicare recipient, you must have your Medicare card, or disabled, approved JTA reduced fare application signed by a physician.
Reduced fare customers who want to pay with cash are asked to still tap your Star Card when you board your vehicle. This registers your ride and helps the authority attract more federal monies, which in turn helps to keep fares as low as possible. We are back with CEO Nat Ford. Now, one thing people may not have realized is that prior to that increase 1 year ago to the 50 cents rate, reduced fares, passengers' fares here in Jacksonville had not received an increase in more than 30 years. Is that amazing or what?
Joyce, I've been in this industry for over 30 years, and that is a remarkable feat. And it's just amazing to be able to go that along a period without raising fares. And unfortunately, we're at that juncture that we need to do that. We need to make sure that we have the adequate funding to provide as much service as possible here in the city and in the county. So it's very unfortunate, but I think it's necessary at this point. And we are in line with which is the normal standard nationwide, that the reduced fare is usually 50% of the full fare cost. And so with that, we're in line, and hopefully we will not be looking at any future fare increases for quite some time.
Okay. Well, if you're 18 years or younger and ride JTA or know someone who does, then you'll want to listen to this story. JTA is changing its policy regarding youth riders. Beginning February 1st, all riders using a youth pass to ride JTA will now be required to show a photo ID. In most cases, a valid public school ID will be just sufficient. Mass Transit Director Clinton Forbes said the ID requirement will eliminate any potential fraud, saving taxpayers a lot of money. All specialty pass users like youth and reduced fare customers are required to show their respective IDs when boarding a JTA vehicle. Youth riders are currently averaging 1,900 trips a day on JTA. That equals nearly 500,000 trips a year. In other transit news, the operation of the Baldwin commuter shuttle is changing hands beginning in March. And thanks to a partnership between JTA, the Baker County Council on Aging, and the Florida Department of Transportation, the shuttle will now offer more trips to more people. This bus is filled with seniors on their way to the Baker County Council on Aging in McClenny for a day of activities. The council has been providing services to the community, including meals, activities, and transportation. These seniors know firsthand as they come every single day.
67. 67.
Well, I play bingo once in a while. I play cards, stuff like that.
To come down to the center and also for my medical appointments.
Shirley Mackey appreciates all that the council is able to do for her, but even so, she admits more is needed. Then there's the Baldwin commuter shuttle that JTA has operated since 2005, providing 2 trips in the morning and 2 in the afternoon to Jacksonville. But it still isn't quite what residents really need. Yet, there appears to be a simple solution to the problem of limited service in Baker County.
The Baker County Council on Aging is going to take over operations of our Baldwin service, so it's actually going to start where the people start in the morning. So instead of running an empty bus all the way out to McClenny in the morning, they're going to start at McClenny and come in carrying their passengers and bringing our passengers that have been traditionally riding with us into Jacksonville, and then having a layover time here in Jacksonville where they're actually taking their paratransit passengers to all the medical destinations that they need to go.
Liz Peak is the Regional Services Coordinator at JTA and says most times the Baldwin shuttle isn't filled, nor is the Council on Aging shuttle that also goes into Jacksonville. On the other side, Deborah Bowen runs the Transportation Division for the Council on Aging. She says this partnership will have a tremendous impact on the mobility of all residents of Baker County.
This is going to open it up to public transportation. I mean, we can fill the bus up with medical appointments, but if we can fill it up with the public transportation, that would be even better because we don't have that here in Baker. And that's something that that needs to happen here.
Bowen says they have a bus and they're working with JTA's marketing department on a special logo. It's a win-win deal and will cost less to operate but mean expanded service. McClenny and Baldwin residents will be able to go into Jacksonville for anything they want or need. Jeanette Bullock also uses the Council on Aging shuttle and serves on the local coordinating board, which is responsible for policy-making decisions in Baker County. Bullock says the partnership promotes independence.
I would go and get my hair cut, and I would go shopping.
The future of transportation here in Baker County not only includes this new partnership with JTA, but consider this. This will become the new site of their regional transportation facility, 10 acres of land right here in Baker County.
We've got $2 million that has been awarded to us, and we just cannot wait to get us a fine facility where we're all together. We can have our buses there. You know, we're excited about it. It's in design now.
Veterans have honored us by serving and defending our country both here and across the globe. However, upon returning to civilian life, many vets struggle to find jobs and get proper medical care. Now, a resource program being designed by the JTA with help from area veterans groups will go a long way toward assisting vets and getting the care and transportation they need. Here's more now from Making Moves, Eugene Lindsay.
Military bases like Mayport and NAS Jax are a major component in the fabric of Jacksonville. Men and women come here from all across the nation to serve in the armed forces. And many soldiers decide to make Jacksonville and surrounding counties home when they leave military life. In fact, more than 125,000 veterans live in our area. While Northeast Florida may have many services for vets, often the challenge is access.
Being able to connect with services. If he's living out as far as, let's say, Mandarin or Orange Park, sometimes it could be very difficult.
But now the Jacksonville Transportation Authority is working with veterans and various military support organizations to help make accessing the transit system a whole lot easier. Just over a year ago, JTA was awarded a $1.9 million federal grant to create a transportation resource center focusing on the needs of area veterans. For several months now, JTA officials have been meeting with veterans, their families, and organizations that cater to vets to examine current transportation services and to determine what's missing. Their objective now is to make getting transportation information of all kind for this entire region one single point of contact. Be it buses, shuttles, trolleys, trains, even carpools and biking, this one-call, one-click transportation resource center will help veterans get around much more efficiently. Ashley Ross with the Jacksonville VA Clinic says she knows all too well the challenges many veterans face when it comes to the transit system and making their medical appointments on time.
I think a multi-county resource center is extremely important because right now, even just veterans who live down in Clay County trying to get up here for their appointments is very difficult. And they have to coordinate with Clay County Transportation, and then they have to coordinate with Jacksonville Transportation. So the fact that this transportation center encompasses all of these counties means that veterans can call one place or go online to one place and really determine what the best way is to move between counties to get the services that they need.
You know, we live in a big community land-wise, so being able to access transportation that gets them to the diverse medical clinics, whether it be the downtown area or with the outlying clinics throughout the community, will be a tremendous asset to them.
When veterans wrap up their military career, for many it's time to move on to another, so they often come here looking for assistance, and public transportation is usually the only way to get them here.
When you've got all of these things, resources combined, you just pick up the phone and call and say, I need to go point A to point B. What can I use to get there? So I think that this infrastructure is really going to be important to our vets.
And veterans like Jackie Carter agree that one call, one click is certainly a move in the right direction.
That would definitely be a benefit.
For JTA Making Moves, I'm Eugene Lindsay.
The Resource Center is expected to be operational next year. Well, still to come on Making Moves, JTA can help you become 1 in a million. Find out how when we come back.
Imagine taking a gondola ride through the canals in Venice, experiencing the breathtaking magnificence of the Eiffel Tower, or riding a legendary double-decker bus through the streets of London. For most of us, these are just dreams that will never come true, but they could. Think about saving hundreds, even thousands of dollars a year by doing one simple thing: parking your car and taking JTA instead. Save money, ride JTA, and make your dreams a reality.
Welcome back to Making Moves. Time now for a new segment we call The Last Word. Today's last word is million. Last February, the JTA board announced that riding the Skyway would be free. Ridership saw an immediate spike and hasn't slowed down since. In fact, ridership has been so remarkable that the Skyway is approaching a major milestone. As we near the end of 1 year of free service, JTA is quickly approaching 1 million passenger trips on the Skyway. That's more than double what the ridership was the previous 12 months.
I like it because, well, where I live is 3 blocks from Hemming Plaza. Where I work is 3 blocks from Convention Center. I get to and from work in 20 minutes every day. I can't beat it.
Absolutely, because if I didn't use it, I'd have to walk every day, which is good exercise, but this is definitely convenient. Definitely convenient.
It's very cost effective. We have alternate places to go, like parking in the garage, but I find the Skyway to be the most cost beneficial for riding purposes.
I find it is a lot more convenient riding from one point to the other without having to get on the bus.
I get to meet different people and talk to them, and I've been able to network. It's helped me some with people that work at the courthouse and other buildings downtown.
I do find it enjoyable. You basically can see all the stuff going on while you're riding briskly across the track, and you see the cars and traffic jams.
Well, if you've never been on the Skyway or just haven't been lately, the JTA can even help you find a place to go. Each Skyway station is equipped with brochures and maps that show what's within walking distance of each station. So grab a brochure, get on a train and go explore, and you could be that one in a million. We are back with CEO Nat Ford. Wow, isn't this just so exciting? 1 million passenger rides. And this was on a system that said it didn't, people said it doesn't go anywhere.
Well, I think this is fantastic, and it really just solidifies my commitment to the Skyway. I think we're talking about a 100% increase as compared to last year. So that's nothing to just sneeze at, and we need to look at opportunities for the Skyway to be part of this downtown revitalization. It's right there in the center of downtown, and I think it's a great asset for the city to have, and it may have just been ahead of its time. We're looking right now at opportunities to better leverage the Skyway on the benefit of our citizens and downtown users.
Oh, absolutely. So success could be in the Skyway's future. And you know, could this be a time for a new conversation about the Skyway and really expanding it?
Well, clearly we have to look at how the Skyway, if and when it needs to be extended. I think right now there's some opportunities for us to re-examine how it's being utilized and look at how it will be part of this core downtown revitalization effort. And again, to have that asset already in place is fantastic. It's not a case where we're looking to build something. It's taking what we currently have and how do we leverage it towards the future.
Oh, absolutely. People are definitely using it.
Right.
Well, that wraps up this edition of Making Moves. And of course, we have to turn to you and find out, how did it go for the first show?
Oh, no, this was great. I believe in transparency. You know, the JTA is a very large organization with a lot of moving pieces and activities. And I think a show like this gives us the opportunity to tell our riders and tell our stakeholders what are some of the positive things that we're doing on a daily basis to improve the quality of their lives, and how we're helping them get to the doctor, how we're helping them get to school and to get to jobs, and how we're part of that economic engine that helps Jacksonville and Northeast Florida move smoother. So.
Okay. Thanks so much. And of course, we will be back real soon, and we hope you'll be joining us. Remember, if you missed any part of the show or just want to watch it again, complete episodes of Making Moves are always available online at jtafla.com and on our YouTube channel, JTA 904. And of course, make sure to stay in touch with us on Facebook. For Nat Ford and the entire Making Moves team, I'm Joyce Morgan Danford. We'll see you again the next time we're making moves.